Good morning, happy Wednesday. So for our flow practice today, we will be using our yoga mats, obviously. I would prefer you to have a blanket and blocks if you have them. If you don't have blocks, you can make do with a couple pillows, some slightly firmer pillows or cushions, or you could always use a rolled up blanket or a couple rolled up blankets. I like blankets that are a little bit more dense, just that they provide that extra little bit of support for what we'll be using using the blocks today. So just get yourself set up with that. I'm going to see if I can go live on Facebook as well. My Facebook, the Facebook Live manager has been being weird, so just give me a moment to potentially try and set that up so I can try and reach more people, which would be awesome. And if you haven't met me before though, my name is Kat. I'll be guiding you through this 60-minute flow practice. And yes, the Facebook is not working yet again. All right, Instagram it is. So as we move through our practice today, also know that I do not use music. I just find that it sort of degrades the quality of the sound, and I think it's more important that you hear my voice. And so if you like to practice with music, feel free to throw on a Spotify playlist or like a YouTube playlist or whatever works for you. But we're going to start our practice in a supported fish pose. So using your two blocks, I like to have my blocks, especially first thing in the morning, I like to have them a little bit lower than I might have them maybe later on in the day. And so one block will be at its lowest height, sort of horizontal. And then the second block will be at its medium height or even its highest height to support underneath your head. And so just come to lie back. And you might need to reposition the blocks a little bit. So the low block will be underneath your shoulder blades. And the base of the block will sort of be, if you wear a bra, it'll be at your bra line. If you don't, it's sort of at the bottom of your floating ribs. And then the other block underneath your head, just position it so that you feel like you can relax your head and neck, or that you feel supported. And so just relax your arms down. Perhaps you bring the soles of your feet together in front of you, or you could extend your legs long in front of you. And remember that this is always your own practice first. So take rest if you need it, make modifications, take variations, drink water when you'd like. And in our practice today, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on back bends and on shoulders. So just take a few more calm, mindful breaths here. And then just be mindful of where you are so that you don't hit a wall or a piece of furniture. But start to circle your right arm around in one direction. Just making huge circles move across your body. Maybe if you are close to something, you just bend your elbow a little bit so that you're not smacking your hand into something. And then change direction.
Then relax your right arm down and start to circle your left arm around in one direction. And then change direction. And you might find that you feel a little bit of movement in your shoulder, like crunching, or it might even sound like popping, or just this might sound like something. So know that that's completely normal. But you want to be moving within a range of motion where you're not feeling pain. So just relax your left arm down. And then take the block or whatever it is that you have underneath your head and just move it off to one side and allow your head to fall back. And so you might come more onto the top of your head lightly, or you might be more on the back of your head, whatever is available. But then just reach your arms up overhead. And again, if you're close to a piece of furniture or a wall, just bend your elbows. Breathe in here. Then exhale, bring your arms down alongside your body. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your arms down. This time, inhale, reach your arms up, draw your knees together. Then exhale, arms down, allow your knees to open into Supta Baddha Konasana. So inhale, knees together, arms up overhead. Exhale, knees open, arms down. Inhale, keep your knees together. And exhale, curl your head and shoulder blades up. So really draw your lower ribs in. So inhale, go back, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, curl up, reach your hands forward. Inhale, so just moving through your T-spine, your thoracic spine. Exhale, curl up, reach forward. Inhale, go back. Of course, you can always bring your hands behind your head. And then just continue lowering back and curling up. And then if you do have your hands behind your head, your elbows are wide. So you're not using a lot of arm strength to help you up. You're mostly using ab strength and working on getting some mobility or openness through your mid-back. Now the next time that you come up, reach one leg forward so that your thigh bones are parallel. Draw your lower ribs in. So set your foot down, go back, then curl up, reach your other foot forward. So go back, do that a few more times, just alternating between your legs. Really keep your lifted foot active, so fan out your toes. And then the next time that we come up, reach both legs forward. So activate your feet, reach your hands forward. You could always keep your hands behind your knees or behind your head, but draw your navel down towards your spine. Draw your lower ribs in. And now set your feet down and roll yourself all the way up. Awesome. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit of heat that's been building through your abs. And then I'll turn towards you so you can see me a little bit better. But have your feet just wider than hip width distance apart, but keep your knees bent. So as though you're pushing your feet against the wall, but your legs are just in midair. Or not in midair, but like in space. And just find that your toes and your knees point in the same direction, and you want your toes to be pointing up towards the ceiling. Now, without your heels actually dragging in towards you,
pull them in. So you're activating through the backs of your legs. You're creating an isometric contraction. Then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Then exhale, lean forward over your left leg. Inhale up to center. Then exhale, lean over your right. Wilfred is here. Inhale up to center. Then exhale, move towards your left. Inhale. And then tilt over towards your right. So keep doing that. Keep your legs active. Find that you're moving through your whole spine. So there's a little bit of rounding or a little bit of flexion that happens, but you're also moving through your shoulders. Now come back to center. Grab your block or something that's block-like, so a book can work here. And then just hold the two shortest ends of the block in between your hands. Then reach your block up overhead. Breathe in. Then turn towards your left, tilt forward. Squeeze your block. Inhale. And turn towards your right, tilt forward. Inhale, center. And then fold about halfway forward. Inhale, rise up. Move towards your left, tilt forward. Inhale, center. Move towards your right, tilt forward. Inhale up, then go center about halfway. Do that one more time, one to each side. Find that you're breathing here. Then once you're up at center, just pause, squeeze your block between your hands, and then lower your arms, lower your block. So this is Wilfred, by the way. And so just extend your left leg out towards the left. Bend your right knee more so that the sole of your foot is on the ground in front of you. And then set your left hand behind you, so you're sort of leaning back. I bend my elbow a little bit as well. But bring your right elbow to the inside of your left, or the inside of your right knee. And so it's not about squeezing your leg in yet for a twist. It's about contracting and extending the side of your torso. So inhale, reach your right arm up and back behind you. Bend your left elbow. Then exhale, squeeze the right side of your body. Pull your elbow in towards your knee. So inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, pull and squeeze in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, pause here. So now create some pressure between your right leg and your right arm. You're sitting up tall and twist towards your left. So find that you stay quite anchored through your sit bones, through your bum cheeks. And then turn back to center. Extend your right leg out and bend your left knee. So just set your right hand behind you. Again, your elbow will bend a little bit as we move. And start with your left elbow just to the inside of your left knee. Keep your left kneecap pointed straight up towards the ceiling as opposed to letting it like wing out really wide. And so you need to use a little bit of strength through your outer hip here to keep that happening. Now inhale, reach your left arm up and back. Then exhale, pull in, squeeze in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Actually squeeze the side of your torso. You're using your obliques, getting some extension laterally. You're also getting a bit of a back bend here through your upper back. And then the next time that your left elbow is to your left knee, pause. So press your elbow into your knee, press your knee into your elbow, and twist towards your right. Now turn back to center. Just extend both legs out in front of you and then just windshield wiper your knees or just pedal out your legs. I like to even give my legs a little bit of a tap, just a gentle patting to wake up the energy in the legs, to help ground a little bit more, even the soles of the feet a little bit. But then bend your knees and make your way into Malasana, into a yoga squat. So you can always slide the support of a block underneath you, but know that we're not going to be here for very long. But just join your hands together in front of your chest. And it's okay if your heels lift. So allow your belly to soften. And now lift up about 3/4 of the way and come into goddess pose. And so I like to widen my stance a little bit, but again, find that your toes and your knees point in the same direction. I'm just gonna reposition the camera a little bit. And then just bring your arms out into a cactus position. Now lift your left heel, inhale. Lower your heel, exhale. Lift your right heel, lower. So do that again on each side. And then for fun, lift both heels, lower both heels. Lift both heels, pause here, really squeeze your glutes. Draw your sit bones, your bum cheeks together behind you. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you. And then lower your heels. Press to stand, straighten your arms and legs. And then hop your feet together. Join your hands together in front of your chest. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank, exhale. Stay here as you inhale. Then downward facing dog, exhale. So our first down dog of practice. Just spend a bit of time here, pedal out your heels, rock your head from side to side. And then lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees a lot, look forward, hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold in, exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, join your hands together in front of your chest. So keep your hip bones pointed straight forward. And inhale, reach your arms up. Twist towards the left, bring your arms level to the ground. Turn back to center, reach high. Then twist towards the right, arms level. Inhale, center. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank, exhale. Stay here for an inhale. Then bend your elbows and lower all the way down. Uncurl your toes, lengthen your legs. Do a mini cobra, inhale. Lower, exhale. So do that 2 more times. Mini cobra. Push up through either your knees or lift your knees. And come back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward, hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale.
And fold in, exhale. Inhale, reach your arms high, do a little back bend. Then exhale, join your hands together in front of your chest. Inhale, reach up, keep your hips pointed forward. Twist right, bring your arms level to the ground. Turn to center, reach high. And then twist towards the left, bring your arms level to the ground. Inhale, center. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank, exhale. Stay here for an inhale. Then your choice, chaturanga. You might set your knees down and bend your elbows halfway. You might lower all the way down. And come into a back bend, cobra or upward dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees a lot. Look to your baby fingers, malasana. Hop forward and wide. I'll turn towards you so you can see me a little bit better. But lift your hips up. Come back into goddess. So again, I like to widen my stance. Know that you do not have to. Now here, reach your left arm up and over towards the right. Rest your right forearm on your right thigh. And then come back to center. Join your hands in front of your chest. Reach your right arm up and over towards the left. Then come back to center. So continue doing that. Side bending. See if you can lift all 10 toes as you do this. Really let the weight of your body be in your heels and in the balls of your feet. And now when you reach up and over to the right, this time reach down towards the ground and then reach your right arm up and over. So reach down to the ground, then reach up and over to the right. So do this a few more times. Still keep your toes light on the ground. The majority of the work is happening in your legs and your quads and your calves. And then the next time that you're down, pause. Straighten your legs, point your toes forward, or even turn your toes in a little bit for a wide-legged forward fold. Now bend your knees, walk your hands to the front of your mat if you're not already there. Hopefully actually you were there. Let's step back to plank. And then chaturanga, back bend of your choice, and downward facing dog. Lift your left leg, inhale. Step forward, exhale. Reach your arms up, come into a crescent lunge. Bend your back knee a little bit and find that your hips point forward towards the front of your mat. Now I like to even sometimes put my hands on my hips just so I can feel where they are in space. And so often pointing the tailbone down more is necessary, or even just dropping my right hip a little bit more. Breathe in, then twist towards the left, bring your arms level to the ground. Turn back to center, reach high. Again, same side, twist towards the left.
Inhale. Twist left, pause. Place your left hand on your lower back. Bring your right hand to a half prayer position in front of your chest. And feel that you're turning on the axis of your spine towards your left. Now plant your right hand down to the ground. Reach your left arm high, easy twist. And then make a yoga fist with your hand, a loose fist with your left hand. And just circle your hand around your wrist. And then change direction. Fan out your fingers. Step back to plank. From toes or knees, chaturanga. Back bend. And downward facing dog. Try to keep your breath smooth and calm. There's no need to manipulate your breath in any way. And lift your right leg, inhale. Step forward, exhale. Crescent lunge, reach forward and up. So again, your back knee is a little bit bent. Maybe you bring your hands to your hips just to help give you some proprioception about where your hips are in space. Breathe in. Then twist right, arms level to the ground. Turn back to center, reach high, inhale. Again, same side, twist towards the right. Inhale, center. Twist right, pause here. Place your right hand on your lower back. Bring your left hand to a half prayer position in front of your chest. We often use our arms as levers to sort of get us into a twist more than we think we are. So really feel a more accurate representation of the twist as you have your hands closer to your body. And now plant your left hand down, reach your right arm high, easy twist. Make a yoga fist with your right hand and circle your hand around your wrist. And then change direction. Fan out your right hand. Step back to plank. Breathe in here. Chaturanga, exhale. Back bend, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Lower your knees to the mat. Maybe grab a little sip of water. Come into a wide-legged child's pose. And as you settle into this child's pose, really pay attention to how your breath is feeling in your body. Feel the heat that you're building, that you're creating. But I like to take a pause roughly at the middle of a practice, especially more active practice, to just come back to an intention, a reason why I'm there, or this is a good time to set an intention. So you've already been moving and breathing you're sort of out of your mind of whatever's already happened during the day, or you're a bit more awake. And I like to start intentions with an I am statement. So just create a statement here that resonates with you, that supports you being here on your mat. And a really simple one could be, I am here. But it could also be something like, I am balanced, or I am strong, or I am confident. So make your way to downward facing dog and just keep your intention in the back of your mind. When we practice yoga, it's not only about the postures, it's not only about the breathing, and it's definitely not about what we look like. What is your inner landscape? What are you being shown? Where might you be able to grow? Where can you let go? What can you focus on that's positive? Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees a lot, look forward, hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale. And now, Utkatasana, chair pose, one of my favorite poses. So here, join your hands together in front of your chest and find that your tailbone points sort of towards the end of your mat as opposed to pointing under you. So you want to keep your spine pretty long, but squeeze your sit bones in towards the center line of your body. Breathe in, and then twist towards the right, hover. So you're still pretty uplifted, you're pretty upright. Turn back to center, inhale. Then twist towards the left and hover. Center, inhale. Twist towards the right. This time, tilt forward more and hook your elbow to the outside of your right leg. So try to stack your right elbow over top of your left elbow. Allow your right shoulder to roll back and down. Keep your knees bent, keep your torso low, turn back to center, and then twist towards the left. Hook your left elbow, stack your elbows, allow your top shoulder to roll back and down. And then lift all 10 toes, or relax all 10 toes. Now turn to center, press to stand, reach high, inhale. And fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, and have your feet about hip width distance apart. And Utkatasana, chair pose. So this time, reach your hands forward in front of you. Lift your heels, just like what we did in goddess pose. And if you're working with knee issues, you might just stay here. If your knees are generally happy, maybe you start to bend your knees and lower your hips down towards your heels. And then maybe you start to straighten your knees, keep your heels lifted. Maybe once you straighten your knees, reach your arms up overhead. And then bend your knees, keep your heels lifted. Now find that you're still breathing through all of this. Now everyone, come all the way to stand, lift your heels, reach your arms up. Then lower your heels, lower your arms. Stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Now set your fingertips down and step your left or your right foot back. So come into crescent lunge. Now join your hands together in front of your chest, engage your glutes, tilt your torso forward, and twist to the left. Hook your right elbow. So try to stack your left elbow over your right. And then option to place your right hand to the to the ground, to the outside of your left foot. Maybe reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Often a block can be helpful here. And if you're feeling more open and more bendy this morning, you could always create a bind by bending your left elbow, wrapping your arm around you. This is my less flexible side, so I can't even do it on this side. And then you would bring your right arm underneath you. Now unwind yourself, turn back to center, set both hands down to the inside of your right foot, of your left foot, and lower your right knee. So uncurl your toes, and then just shift your hips back, flex your left toes back towards your face for a half splits. And then with both hands on the inside of your left leg, walk your hands over towards your right. So spin on your right knee, point your left toes forward, and then stand up on your right knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Reach your right arm up and over towards your left foot, gate pose. Now rise back up through center. Set your right hand down to the end of your mat and lift your left leg. Now reach your right or your left arm up towards the ceiling. And just like we did at the beginning of class when we were sitting, breathe in. Then exhale, pull your elbow and your knee towards each other. So you're doing like a crunch in midair. Now inhale, expand out. Exhale, knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Then bend your left knee, reach your left hand back and catch a hold of your foot. So allow your left shoulder to roll back. And then with control, reach your left leg long, reach your left arm high. Then lightly step your left foot to the front of your mat. Rise up and reach your right arm up and over, gate pose. Come back to center, expand your arms out wide to a T position. Then give yourself a hug. Take about 3 breaths here. Now expand your arms wide again, inhale. Then tilt forward, set your hands down, and make your way to downward facing dog with your hands at the front of your mat. So shift forward to plank, inhale. And then chaturanga, exhale. Back bend, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Lift your heels, inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, and hop forward. Halfway lift. Set your fingertips down. Step your left foot all the way back. Maybe you set up a block just to the outside of your right foot and come up into crescent lunge. Join your hands together in front of your chest. Tilt your torso forward, really straighten your back leg, and twist towards the right. Hook your left elbow. And so maybe you choose to stay here if you're working on balance or if you're feeling quite a lot of a twist or this is just feeling good for you. Maybe you lower your torso a little bit and place your left hand down to the block or down to the ground and reach your other arm up towards the ceiling. Or maybe you go for the bind on this side. So remember, this isn't about your ego. It's not about looking a certain way. How can you be here and be stable and steady in your breath? And now smoothly unwind yourself. Set both hands down to the inside of your right foot. Lower your left knee. Half splits. Shift your hips back. Turn your right toes back towards your face. Now with both hands on the inside of your right foot, walk your hands over towards your left. Spin on your foot and on your knee and stand up in gate pose. So place your right hand on your right hip. Reach your left arm up and over. Now rise back up to center and place your left hand down to the end of your mat. And find that your shoulder is stacked over top of your wrist. And then lift your right leg and your right arm. Breathe in. Then squeeze your knee and your elbow together. Inhale, expand out. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now bend your top knee. Reach your right hand back. Touch a hold of your foot. So roll both shoulders back. Still draw your lower ribs in, but press your right foot back into your hand. And then with control, expand back out again. Then set your right foot down, rise up. Give yourself a hug. Take about 3 breaths here. Inhale, expand your arms out wide again. Set your right hand on your right hip. Side bend over your extended right leg. And then come back to center, set your hands down. Crawl your hands towards the front of your mat. Make your way into downward facing dog. Feels so familiar. Now here, lift your left leg. Draw your knee towards your left elbow. Shift forward. Reach your leg back and up. Inhale. The knee to right elbow. Pause. Kick your foot out towards the right. Roll towards the inside of your right foot. Reach your right arm high. Breathe in, then lower your hips and turn to face towards the back corner of your mat. So your legs are wide. I'm just gonna readjust the camera again a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. And so know that your legs don't have to be like as far wide as they possibly can go. They're a little bit closer. But inhale, reach your arms high. Turn to face over your left leg and fold forward any amount. So again, remember, this isn't about your ego. It's not about what you look like. Where can you be here in a way that feels good in your body, but that you're also not stressing or straining yourself too much? Rise back up, reach your arms up, turn to face over your right leg, and fold forward any amount. Now inhale, rise back up, reach your arms up, turn through your left, plant your hands at the front of your mat, and make your way into a 3-point dog. Lift your left leg, bend your knee, and open your hip. So you may choose to stay here, or you may choose to flip your dog, and then land on the ball of your left foot, and reach your left arm up and overhead. Then come into downward facing dog wherever you are. Lift your right leg, inhale. Draw your knee towards your right elbow, shift forward. Reach your right leg back and up, inhale. Then knee to left elbow, pause. Kick your foot out to the left, roll to the inside of your left foot. Reach your left arm high. So create length through your torso, especially through the right side of your waist. Breathe in, then lower your hips, turn to face in between your legs. This time, inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and fold forward any amount. In yin, we call this pose straddle, and I'm teaching 2 or 3 yin classes a week these days, and this has been my favorite pose. For some reason, it's just feeling really amazing in my body. So I hope that you also enjoy this. We'll hold here for a few more breaths. But how can you allow yourself to soften? How can you embody your intention? Now rise back up, reach your arms up, and turn through your right. Plant your hands at the front of your mat and make your way to a 3-point dog. And then for me, I have to be mindful about where I am in space, so you should be too. But perhaps you flip your dog, you'll spin on your left foot, land your right foot, and reach your right hand up and over. Come back to downward facing dog. And lower your knees to the mat. Walk your knees side by side, curl all 10 toes under, and sit back onto your heels for thunder toes. So you might need to use your hands to curl your baby toes under. But once again, expand your arms wide to a T position. Then wrap your right arm underneath your left, cross at elbows and wrists, and then just circle your elbows around in one direction. And then change direction. Bring your elbows to center, do a little back bend. So keep your lower ribs in, but lift your elbows, lift your gaze. And come back to center, expand your arms out, inhale. Then wrap your left arm underneath your right. Eagle your arms, circle your elbows around in one direction. So try to stay with your toes. Of course, you can always take a break and stand up on your knees as need be. And then change direction. And bring your elbows to center, do a little back bend, lift your elbows, lift your gaze. Come back to center, unwrap your arms, set your hands down in front of you, lift your feet and lightly tap the shoelace side of your feet down. And then stay on the shoelace side of your feet, sit back for a counter pose. Maybe you want to lean back a little bit, still keep your chest pretty lifted if you're taking that variation. Come back to center, move your feet out to one side, your hips go to the other, and then come to lie on your back and hug your legs in. So just rock a little from side to side as we really start to slow things down. And let your legs fall over to one side for a twist. So it doesn't really matter which side. Just expand your arms out to a T position. And maybe your head is or your face is facing towards the ceiling, or maybe you look in the opposite direction of your legs. And then draw your knees to center and over to the other side. Twist. And then draw your knees and your hips back to center. Keep your knees wide, but pull your knees in towards you. And you may choose to stay here, or you may want to take this into happy baby and catch behind your knees or the outsides of your feet. Maybe you want to rock a little from side to side, or maybe just being still feels best for you.
Set your feet down, extend your legs forward, and settle into final Shavasana. Allow yourself to really sink down into your mat, into the ground. So trust that you have the time to be here. Shavasana is one of the most important parts of our practice. This is where we integrate all of the movements, both physically, so in muscle memory, but also mentally, emotionally, energetically. Being in Shavasana is like pressing a reset button. And ideally, we're in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes, maybe longer. Just allow all tension that you're aware of to leave your body. Allow yourself to be really heavy, really relaxed. And as you settle into your final resting position, just bring to mind your intention, your I am statement. So continue to stay really heavy and relaxed. But how can you allow your intention to permeate your whole body, your psyche, your energy? If you have the time, I encourage you to stay in Shavasana longer, even after this video ends. But when you do decide to move out of Shavasana, let it be a conscious decision as opposed to just like a snap reaction. So work on or practice responding with mindfulness as opposed to just reacting with a snap. But when you do come back to movement, just slowly, gradually wiggle your fingers and your toes, move your eyes beneath your eyelids. And then you will gradually, at some point, make your way to a final seated position. And so whether you're still in Shavasana or you're moving or you're upright, I thank you so much for joining me and supporting me and all the other teachers at Pure. You can always do a virtual drop-in at Pure Yoga Ottawa. And I hope that you have a really awesome Wednesday. Remember to think about possibilities. Namaste.